How do crabs fit into the GORN world? Well, we're going to have to, I think maybe that's a question for our cultural advisor. I'm not too sure I can reveal that information just yet. We might be saving that for a big secret. Or not, or maybe we just added crabs in because we wanted to have a destructible enemy. The last update we just released was a crustacean update, better known as a crab update.
Why did you feel the need to release a hip-hop trailer with this new update?
Well, because it's fun, obviously. The language isn't Ukrainian or anything like that. It's the GORN language, which is Kirodroki. It's a language that's been developed and is only found in the GORN world.
Can you speak some Kirodroki for us right now?
No, but don't tell our cultural advisor that. He'll kill me.
No.
He expects me to know this by now, but I don't.
Kirut, the guy who sang on the song, him and I had a chat about making like rap music in that style. Months later, he just sent me a very encrypted mail with the lyrics and some vocal takes. And then I just chopped them up, made them in time, and like just wrote a song over that.
So yeah, we kind of had a lot of inspiration from Jay just making the song.
I made it and showed it to Ron, and he laughed, and we're like, well, we've got to try and make this work in the trailer.
We wanted to have a more challenging enemy, so we wanted to have some kind of creature that we could make destructible. Breaking of the shields was the first step to getting to the idea behind the crab. You can't kind of just run in and attack. You've got to be a little bit more strategic, look a little bit more at what the rider's doing, because as he moves his arm, the crab will move his arm. So you kind of strategically move around to get to different sections that you can break off.
You get a lot of joy out of smashing that crab.
Yeah, have you ever met me? I'm full of rage.
So in addition to what we always do, which is always go over everything in the game and try and polish it up a little bit, I was also creating new content like the new environments and new armor sets, in addition to polishing up the old armor sets. We found the cracking of the shell of the crab was so much fun, so we wanted to give that to players in one of the armor sets as well. So the heavy armor set is now functionally kind of like the crab armor.
So like, when a weapon hits the crab, it like triggers that sound. The sound of the weapon also triggers, so it like layers on top. The secret to the crab sounds is various pasta dishes. For the shell breaking and cracking, I used lasagna sheets, tapping them, cracking them, crunching them. The gut sounds, I cooked some macaroni, left a little bit of water in the pot, and I just sloshed it around. So it's got that like punch.
Oh.
The lasagna thing was kind of trial and error. The pasta thing I've done before with genital jousting.
I can actually walk you through the process of making the new standard arena environment that we did for the last update. We had to dial things back eventually for the final copy.
He's a little bit overambitious at times, but I think so am I, and so is the whole GORN team, so it fits in. Yeah, he's really talented.
We tried to block it out in as basic a way as possible, just to test out the shapes and the proportions. And we would look at these things in VR to get the kind of the best estimation that only really implies these final shapes that we went for. Feedback was absolutely vital, not just for how it looks, but from Ruan's side. Our art can't be an obstacle to him achieving his gameplay goals.
Highs with working with Ruan is he's amazing at what he does. For me, working with anyone that's fueled up and inspired and really good at their job, it's incredible for me.
So we have to kind of really think intently about how we place things in the scene and exactly where we put detail, because we don't want to be distracting.
Lowe's, he types really loud. Hates meetings. Quiet and come across a bit grumpy a lot of the times, but I don't think that's the case. It's just how he comes across. But you just said one, right?
So the one thing that Ruan hates more than being in meetings is being on camera.
Working with Luke's amazing. I think the hardest part is he's just so hungry. He's like a 24-year-old with like the most amazing talent, and he's just so hardworking. So it's like, it's quite a challenge to like constantly just keep him fed, keep his brain going, keep him busy.
They didn't mean it as a compliment. It was more about how annoying it is to try and keep you occupied.
Okay, well, it's all very hurtful. I mean, I would have liked this not to happen on camera. I think.
The main thing we always like to say in GORN is, does it smell like HeMan yet? That kind of comes from a documentary that we've all watched and loved, The Toys That Made Us. And it all comes down to making the player or the user feel as powerful as possible. And that's what they did with HeMan. So that's what we do with GORN. Anything we do, it's like, what can we do to make the player feel more powerful?
Yeah, you are an angry, angry man.
I'm not that angry, I'm passionate. One of the main things we need to do now is start thinking about the meta, how things kind of progress in the world. We want to have different unlocks. We want to link things up. There's going to be a bunch of Easter eggs and a bunch of different ways to unlock things. We're going to be having a death pit, which I'm not going to say too much on, because I've been dreaming about that since we kind of started this project.
It's only a GORN member that can say, I've been dreaming about a death pit for the longest time.
It's flippin' scary. It's actually the first time I've fought the crab. I'm gonna pulverize you. I'm gonna put you into a stick. I'm gonna have you oh, don't die this time. Don't die. Don't die. Ah! Ah!